All right, what's up, guys? We are back in the studio for another podcast. It's been a while, but I'm glad that we got Jack, the farmer from Urban Abundance, in the studio today. Very topical conversations from Jack and I. Jack's got a really cool company, Urban Abundance. They put fresh fruit and vegetable farms in your backyard. Is that a good way to describe it?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Oh,
yeah,
great.
Thanks for having me, John.
Absolutely. And so, we choose to go with extremely fresh products in my store. It's all about fresh products, raw juice, raw coffee, raw smoothies, raw acai bowls, fresh breakfast sandwiches. Jack chooses to provide his customers with organic farms mainly?
Yeah. Okay. So, dude, check it out. We basically help people grow food at home.
Yes.
That's it. So we install and we maintain vegetable gardens and fruit trees for people to grow their own food.
And are you focused on organic or does it have to be organic or does it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Got
it's totally organic.
Totally organic.
Natural growth.
Understood.
It's beyond organic.
Awesome.
But I love, dude, all your products, everything's super conscious. So I love what you're doing too.
Yeah. I mean, it started with the coffee. It's raw. It's as classic as it can be from Armenia, Colombia. They haven't changed anything for like 100 years. And also there's no money to do the type of farming that we do in the United States in Colombia. There's no money to do it. So they've had to always utilize the same practices for the longest time, and they haven't changed anything.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so it started with the coffee that way, and then it just trickled down with all the rest of the products, organic juice, cold pressed, unpasteurized, raw smoothies. We prep the fruit in house. So we have similar businesses. We have similar parallels in our businesses. And so what we wanted to talk about today was entrepreneurship.
Yes. Let's get into it, man.
Ultimately, and the journey of entrepreneurship.
We're in it, aren't we?
We're in it. Tell me how many years you've been in it.
Cool, man. Great question. Because before this, it's so funny. Like, I'm like an artist, right?
Okay.
I'm not a business person. I'm not like,
fair.
You know what I mean? So it's a lot of learned skills and realizations, maybe of the nature of this world. And just, but I always couldn't get into like, I don't know, an institution or something. Like like I wasn't good at being the part and being obedient. So that's just me and who I am too.
Neither am I.
Exactly. And then, I mean, I think that's why entrepreneurship was so perfect for myself as well.
Cool. I think that there's no real book to go by when it comes to business.
Although there are books.
There's books.
Yeah, but you're right. There's no one who's like, hey, here's how it's done.
Yeah, here's the whole book. No, that's not how it works.
Especially when you're like, I mean, at least from my experience, like I'm definitely not, like I wasn't very disciplined and good in school. Like
Me neither. Absolutely.
Right?
I was often in
school.
school.
And so funny. And like we turn up, it's funny because we show up.
Yeah.
Right?
100%.
We show up today, man.
Yeah.
And it's all about, because it's bigger than us.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm definitely doing 7 days a week. I don't have a choice. It's the only way that I know how to do this, to continue the consistency.
Cool. To like keep the consistency and momentum, right?
Momentum is huge.
And I have had times where like I slouch because I've been doing it. You asked me the question. I guess it's like 5, almost 6 years.
Yep.
With the business, like really when I was like, let's do this, take it seriously. I was working part-time at a juice bar, riding my bike, talk about like, real like from the ground. I had nothing, nice. Longboarding to work at 5:30 a.m.
Of course.
Like to make all the little oatmeals and stuff.
Sure.
And I was getting jobs after work and stuff. And I was like, hey, let's do this seriously. But anyways, again, I didn't even know what I was getting into. It's so funny, right? Like,
yeah. The business part, you say that you didn't have any business experience. I don't think that, or I think that most people could say the same about when they started a business.
Yeah.
They came from a place where they didn't have true business experience, because how many times do you start a company, right? And then continually work on that company until it succeeds. So
follow the mission until the. It's interesting. Yeah. So on that point, it's like school. In my opinion, school isn't that. Like school is not what we're talking about, right? So it's like we never really learn these skills, like balancing checkbooks and all these things,
Absolutely. I would say that this has been one of, or if the hardest thing that I've ever done. Wow. For sure. Wow. It's been the most challenging. I've met challenges that I could have never expected in my entire life. Wow. And I'm currently going through those challenges, present day.
Yeah.
So
me too. And I got news to you guys. Yeah. Cause you don't even know, we see like, oh, our brands and all this and Epic Studio. And it's facts. People don't know what's going on behind the scenes.
Right.
Hella hours.
And we're kind of smiling right now. Like we're both smiling.
Right.
How sometimes I'm like, how is that possible? Right.
Yeah.
Because
a fuller life creates that. We're generating energy. What do you think about that?
Oh, 100%.
Right.
And I think that too, the things that we are providing and producing, the products that we're producing, are beneficial. And so I'm trying to provide
facts,
a really positive environment.
You're making an experience.
An experience
totally
for the customer, for the employees. I'm trying to provide a really positive place to work.
That's why I go. That's
exactly.
why I'm here. Your personability, you know, the lifestyle atmosphere.
Yes. And then there will be, unfortunately, negativity that will naturally come in to the fold on its own.
It's just the way it is.
And nobody will tell you that. No, I don't think any. Well, there's some guys on the internet that really do tell you the way that it's going to go. But I think that one of the things
you're talking about haters.
Well, not so much haters. It's just there's so much involved in the business.
It's true.
Right. And
there's 8 departments.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's once you really look at it, sales and like marketing and doing what we're doing right now. Leading people,
yes.
And delivering the greatest product to the customer you can.
Correct. The highest quality product, which is very complicated and difficult. And then you try to streamline. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
So why is it worth doing?
Why is it worth doing? No. I think for you and I, that question is easy to answer. We don't like to be told what to do.
Freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel that.
And so with that freedom comes a lot of responsibility. And that freedom I think has to be nurtured 7 days a week.
Wow.
I really do. I don't think you can take a day off from trying to be free.
Yeah, you do. Like a lot of people who say that, who are successful, right, who have way more money than us, they say, hey, like you have to treat these days like you're still broke. It's like a different mindset, right? Not being complacent, maybe, right?
Absolutely. Definitely don't be complacent.
You can't.
And be cautious, for sure, right? I think now I'm learning about really taking those slow steps, those methodical movements forward. Try not to go too quickly. Actually, try to go a little bit slower. And with your progress, try to progress slowly, and then try to really take advantage of opportunities that you see are opening up.
Interesting. Yeah, but say that differently. Maybe are you saying like maybe be more like of an observer as you're going instead of just head down? Like, what do you mean by going slowly?
Sometimes
some people would say like, "Yo, we got to go fast."
Yeah,
but that's interesting what you're saying.
Us as entrepreneurs, we really wanna grow it quick.
Yeah,
we want to grow it quick, and I don't know if it grows quick, especially if you're doing what we're doing, which is a bootstrap. Some people have the advantage of a large investment or some backing of some sort. And
sure,
that's extremely helpful. But some of us just take it one job at a time, and we reinvest our own profits into growing the business. And so when we reinvest our own profits, I think that's where we got to really really go slower. That's where I'm finding to slow down a little bit more. Yeah.
That's some gold right there. I like that.
How about you? What do you think is so far the biggest benefit from having your own business, being an entrepreneur, and
like why do?
Yeah, the journey that you've been on so far. What's the biggest benefit for you?
Cool, man. I think definitely the freedom, you know what I mean? Not like creating our own principle, like, you know what I mean? Real like values and mission and following that dream. Like that's what gives me more energy and show up every day because it's like, and it's not just mine, it's my customers.
Yep.
It's our families, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And it's like, wow, creating that and like, exactly, like SWAT. I love, yeah, exactly, and the possibilities that happen there instead of maybe some of my earlier jobs. Like I worked as a janitor before, you know. I like worked in like all these, you know, starter jobs to learn whatever. You know, the doing a job, like being a good team member.
Yep, for sure.
Right.
We talked about it right before we started the podcast about customers and customer service, and it just comes down to I think it all comes down to that. Because, you know, I've got competitors down the street that are selling coffee, that are selling smoothies, that are selling acai bowls and breakfast sandwiches,
Right.
and almost all the things that I sell. Okay?
All over
the place.
Yeah.
And so we had to and have to continue to provide what I try to call like a 5-star customer experience, which I learned in a 5-star hotel job.
Really? No way.
Absolutely.
And they said, yo, this is the standard.
Yeah. Uh-huh. And I learned that in a 5-star hotel. So, and cool. I'm trying to bring that into the company. So with, you know, look at us, we wear shorts and t-shirts and tennis shoes to work.
I've been gardening all morning.
Yeah. But that doesn't mean that your look has to be 5-star. Like you have to be in a suit. You can't be in a suit gardening. Yeah. I can't be in a suit in my store at 95 degrees, an outdoor store. So, but every single company can always provide a 5-star service experience. That's it.
Tell them that's it. And that's what does it. And by the way, just to be clear, like that's what it is. And I'm in the middle of trying to figure out how I can make that better.
Sure.
Because just, I guess for me, cause you're getting dialed, dude. I like what you're doing over there with your systems and stuff. Like mine's kind of a new model, like edible gardens done for you, like set up from start to finish, South Florida.
Fair.
So it's just really interesting. So I'm trying to dial it in and make it better. And I'm not perfect. Like we have over 500 garden beds we take care of.
Awesome.
Season to season. Yeah, it's a blessing, bro. And it's so beautiful. And there's so many wins. Like everyone's saying cherry tomatoes popping, all this stuff. But we will have an iguana tear some up. Or caterpillar. We will have a garden bed go down. And it's like, man, how can I get it to where that's not even a thing?
Yeah, South Florida.
That's the thinking. Like, yeah, it's hardcore.
South Florida.
But how do I make it happen for the customer where they don't know? What if they want a garden anyways? Like, that's how I got to be thinking, like, literally no excuse, right? And I think that's my takeaway, like, especially with gardening, because it's real life, you know?
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
Like, wow, a hurricane comes. There's no it's not, you know? So it's like really wow. It's like, that's what business is. That's what you have to pay attention to the reality of what's going on. What does your customer care about? It doesn't matter. It's not about you.
No, it's not about you. Stop down for a second.
Yeah, that was great.
I like that because I'm gonna go into nice. Okay, I'm just making sure both. Yes, we have everything good.
I'm like leaning in.
And I'm gonna. This is super casual.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take your point to the next level.
I want to hear it.
I look at my company and tell me if you think the same thing. This is from the comment that you just made. I look at my company and my stores as a baby. Okay? Because I have a 2.5-year-old. I'm about to have a baby in 3 weeks. Okay. And so my company is, let's call it 5 or 6 years old, but my retail is about 2 years old. Okay?
It's a little infant.
The company is still in its infancy because it has taken so long for us to really figure out exactly, you know, we went through 1 or 2 suppliers for coffee, maybe even a third. And then that took a couple of years to get refigured out. And then to open a store is almost next to impossible. That's its own baby that I have to watch daily and nurture, and when it's open, it's like the baby's awake, and you can't let the baby like run away. Wow. And then when it's finally closed and it's sleeping, you can finally rest, and you don't have to think about it. Maybe you know.
Once it's okay.
Yeah, once it's okay. and so
I totally agree.
These companies that we have are like babies.
And how old is your business?
I call it probably about 5 or 6 years old. Completely.
Me too, man. Wow. Yeah. That's a beautiful thing. And we're infants.
Yeah, we are.
Boom.
It's the 10-year mark that matters the most.
Interesting.
80% don't make it to the 10-year mark.
Yeah, it's real.
So
they say 9. I heard it's even. I hear a I don't know. The numbers are crazy, but I've heard that the amount that doesn't get to like $1 million a year or whatever is like barely, like it's like 90%.
Really?
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
Before they're like, oh no, like it turns into something else.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
It's extremely interesting. And you know what it takes? It takes the leader to 100% make sure that thing continues on.
Yeah. It takes the leader. It's true.
Otherwise, what?
The driver. And plus, this is our advice, because I hear what you're saying. Dude, that's so interesting. We're both 5 years in, because it's the same thing. It's like, what's the best decisions? Because there's so many decisions we can make, right?
Daily.
All the time.
Daily.
What's the right move,
Yeah, what is
for
the
our
right
mission
move?
And like what we're really trying to do.
Absolutely.
For what we're trying to provide.
Yep, 100%. It goes back to 2017. I bought a food truck in 2017 thinking I was going to start a pasta company. And then I slowly figured out, my wife's Colombian, so and we got a place in Armenia, Colombia, where the coffee comes from. And so
it was going to be pasta before coffee.
Yeah,
I
my
didn't
trailer.
even know that.
Yeah,
wow.
And so it converted probably 6 months to a year later to building a coffee trailer. Okay, so that I call it 2018-ish is really when I bought the trailer for a reason, and then 2018 was when we really started to crank on the coffee. And the reason why we're starting, like, trying to do more podcasts, trying to do more content, is so that we can provide first the United States and Canada the opportunity to drink finally raw, fresh, what we're calling fourth wave coffee. We've been stuck in third wave coffee for quite a while, which is basically your roaster is just down the street, but they're pulling coffee from a warehouse, and this coffee is coming from all around the world. We don't know its journey. We know every single thing about our coffee. And so that plays into what you guys do. I'm a consumer. I got some space in my backyard. I want to know exactly where my food is coming from.
It's so much. It's night and day too, man. Like we need to get some gardens up at your place. I know we were talking about
100%.
You could be juicing your own carrots and kale.
I always tried to figure out what exactly we would have if we're going to grow some beds.
What do you use the most of? And it's also what grows really well.
That's a perfect question.
Yeah.
What do I use the most of?
We're doing it now.
I use the most of coconut water, which is why we started processing coconuts, fresh Florida coconuts.
Beautiful.
So now we're focusing in on products like that.
That is super aligned, man. It's like take it from the tree down the street. You're a mile from the beach.
Yep.
These coconuts just are everywhere.
They're everywhere. And
so cool, dude.
The tree trimmers are throwing away.
That's right.
Hundreds, if not thousands, of coconuts every week.
It's one man's trash is another man's treasure, man.
And I'm telling you, this coconut water is my treasure. So if you got coconuts, you come and talk to me.
Yeah.
I'm ready for coconuts.
You're the cocoa lord.
Yeah, and this type of stuff, maybe not to other people, but it excites us.
Yeah, it does.
All right? And I got really excited when...
It excites some people. They're excited.
For sure. It excited me when my wife took me to a coffee farm for the first time, which is basically like going to a winery. Okay?
They show you how it's done.
The whole thing. And it's all by hand. Every single part of the process is by hand.
And by the way, I have to mention this while we're here. I worked harvesting coffee beans on the farms in Hawaii.
In Hawaii. Beautiful.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Green Mountains.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Oh my God.
We have a coffee product in the United States. It's in Hawaii. It's
That's right.
And
we
so
took it over, whatever, half a century ago. It's recently United States.
and so what's that flight to California
It's
from
like
Hawaii?
6 hours.
6 hours. Okay.
Way in the middle of nowhere.
Okay.
Man.
So our flight for our coffee is 3 hours from Armenia, Colombia to Miami, to the port in Miami.
No, that's close. That's mountains that are close to here.
Yeah. And so really that's been one of the things is trying to let people know how close they are to this coffee.
Cool.
Eventually it's going to have to arrive on a boat, but
That's amazing,
Yeah.
dude. By the way, that's so cool. You're so like forward thinking, man. I love it. There's this tribe of people I met on the other coast of Florida.
okay.
Where they were like, it was like cult or something, or religious,
Okay.
homestead,
Yes.
schooling their own kids or whatever. They had a mango farm.
Killer.
And this badass setup. And I was like, learning about them. They're so friendly.
Nice.
And anyways, the 7 tribes, I think they're called. Yeah. Shout out. They were so nice to me. But anyways, they all had mate, like kicking it for breakfast. Everyone had mate. And they were like, yeah, we ship ours up from Brazil every year. We have brothers in Brazil who have another farm of mate, and they share mangoes and mate. And there's like,
Interesting.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's very interesting.
And they're tuned into the sourcing aspect. That's why I bring it up.
Yeah, I love
So
fresh
cool.
mangoes. I really do. And we used to process them. They're just really hard to process.
Yeah.
They're
Dude,
really,
you should sell them at your place though. They're really high dollar.
we
You have a market.
have.
Yeah.
It's really hard.
It's hard. Wait,
Yeah.
just using them for your stuff.
Everything about the mango
It's
difficult.
It's messy.
Yeah, it's
And
just it's just another complexity.
And it's in the poison ivy family. People
Yeah,
don't know
that's
that.
true.
Some people
That's
are
true.
allergic. Yeah. But dude, mango season's right now.
I know
Like
it is right now. It's just that's one of those
think about
things.
it.
That's one of those difficult business decisions
exactly.
that you have to.
What do I know? I don't know the market. You know.
You have to look at efficiencies of each individual product or category. Does this make sense for us? Does this not make sense for us? And I'm going to tell you what does make sense is processing coconuts from Florida.
Amazing.
We go through a pallet of coconut water a month basically for our smoothies.
Wow.
So that alone makes me interested in the coconut.
Wow.
Okay. And it's just a cut in half.
Yeah.
You just chop it in half.
And it lasts a long time. It stores
Yeah,
well.
we got about 2 weeks
Wow.
in that water, which is great.
And by the way, coconuts are so good for you.
It's unbelievable how good it is for you.
Like people don't realize, like going back to the land, like it's a good in so many areas. It's not just like fun and like
It's unbelievable.
which it is.
It's unbelievable for you, actually. All the benefits of it.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
And so here's a little bit of tidbit of information about the coconut. Almost all the United States coconut water companies source their coconuts from Vietnam, Thailand,
Thailand, yeah.
Philippines.
Yeah, Southeast Asia.
That's halfway across the world. Why are we? And we don't
And
even.
we grow it. Yeah. So John right here doesn't go to Costco like everybody else on North Lake or wherever you live and get these totes. And I've done it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, hey, there are coconuts.
There are
around.
coconuts. It's tough. It's
There
just
are
logistics. It's logistics.
That's
that
what
comes.
it is.
And so
So what are you trying to create a system?
we're trying to figure it out. And here is
My man.
the initial idea. Okay,
Shoot.
is we are starting, and we're partnering with tree trimming companies, and we are starting our own tree trimming, coconut and palm tree trimming service.
I love it.
We're going to give you a discount if you have coconuts. We're
Dude,
creating-
that's genius. That's vertically integrating.
Yes.
Like people need these by the way, these coconuts are dangerous.
Oh,
as well.
extremely.
It's like a double-edged sword. Like nothing's good or bad in this world. Right?
If
It
that
just
coconut
is.
falls off that tree, do you know how many miles per hour it's coming down?
It's real.
It's about 90 miles an hour. It comes down.
What?
Yeah, that's how some of them are so high. That coconut's so heavy, shoom,
Yeah.
straight to the ground.
Dude, I heard about this working on farms. Like, watch it. So tree trimmers, it's like we do need to. Some people are like, "Oh, don't touch any nature."
Yeah.
It's just an interesting thought. Like, we do need to manage it.
100%.
Like, we do need to do it because we go harvest the coconuts, use them, and B, it's like clean the tree. I love that, dude.
We've got 3 big palms on the property in Boynton, and they have some big coconuts up there that we got to get down once or twice a year for safety reasons.
Yeah.
For liability purposes. It's like a real thing. But the palms are fantastic on the property, so we want to keep them. Anything else that you want to share, before we go that you think is worthwhile to Willy Cafe family?
By the way, John and Willy Cafe family, thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. And yeah, I guess the one thing I'd say is, like you said, like we are in our infancy. I love how you brought that up. Like stay humble. It's so important. I'm humbled all the time in my work. Like, sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I'm so amazing as a gardener or whatever. It's like, there is 1,000 million farmers better than me right now all over the world. And it's like, how can I just, give that what was so freely given to me and just, lead with that.
For sure.
That's
I think that we can probably, a couple of our customers might be interested in your services. I think that's also one of the reasons why we wanted to bring you on. It's just to let everybody know,
Cool.
If you haven't heard of Urban Abundance yet, you guys got to check them out, because you can be growing your own organic food in your backyard.
Heck yeah.
And they will help you with that. And I think
Thank you,
that
man.
is probably where we're going. It used to be that way. We did all this stuff for the longest time, and now we see old classic traditions coming back.
Yeah, man.
Across the board, like
Across the board.
in so many different facets of life.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to do it, they'll do it for you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's it, man.
Yeah.
I mean, we're specialists, right? That's it.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you want to go 0 to 100 real quick? We're your guys.
Absolutely.
Your garden coaches.
And I like our company, we want to take it to, for sure, a national level. We're primed and ready for it, and now we're taking our time to do it. I think that you have a product that has national implications.
Wow. Cool, man. Yeah.
I really do.
Why not find farmers in every city who's like about it?
Why
And they know that climate zone, and they help people do it.
why wouldn't
My man.
you want your own bed of fruit and vegetables in your backyard? I know I do.
We're going to. I know I do.
I can't
too.
afford it just yet.
I got you.
there.
I'll bring you a fruit tree. I'll bring you some.
That's fair.
Let's do it.
All right, let's go.
You got to start with something.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's what I want to end it on.
Yeah.
It's funny how life comes full circle, because my family on my mom's side is a farming family, and on my father's side, my grandfather owned a fruit and vegetable market.
Cool. A market.
Yeah.
Wow.
Really weird.
Where?
In Illinois. Both in Illinois.
No way.
Yeah. So
where?
So the farm is in Southern Illinois, still farming. My cousin and my uncle farm the farm, and
Wow.
my grandparents have since passed, but he had a fruit and vegetable market in Southside Chicago. So that's where I come from. And then, for a while I was like, what am I doing? Where am I going? What am I doing? And then I came, and it came back to this. It's very interesting, right? And so my question to you is there any background in your family
Dude, great question. Yeah.
with what you're doing?
Yeah. No one's really asked me that. And the answer is I don't. My immediate family, none at all.
Okay.
Not interested.
Okay.
Didn't grow up with it. Didn't know anything about it. Planted my first stuff. Used a weed whacker when I was
Okay.
like 20,
Cool.
But my grandma is super into it. She's super like grounded and wise and beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So just shout out grandma. She was planting every season, and it was like her thing was like a seasonal
Okay.
ritual.
Cool.
And she's amazing. And who knows? I'm sure all our ancestors are
Yeah.
too. We're all going home, man.
It's ancestral, man. And there's sometimes you cannot play around with it. Like it
Wow.
it just ends up happening that way. And so, be very careful.
Yeah.
Because
Interesting. Yeah.
that's what I've learned is like when I inherited like this farmer's market and we turned it into Willy Cafe, and people were like, oh my gosh, like what, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh my God, my grandpa had a fruit and vegetable stand, and now I'm serving smoothies and cut fruit, and people are, and I'm trying to get these fresh coconuts, which is basically farming.
Yeah.
It's just in its own format.
Yeah.
I'm trying to
They
farm
go up
coconuts,
and
bro.
get dates in the palms and that's how it works.
So it's really, really odd. So you do have some background.
Yeah.
Some family background, some history in gardening.
Yeah.
And
and my grandpa, and by the way, why didn't I even mention this? Her brother, who I'm not as close with, is her twin brother. Like, did this whole park landscape. I didn't even know about it until I started my business in New York City, Riverside Park, I think, like Ballin Park, like.
There you go.
Yeah, he was on the news and all this stuff, and he's like 90 and he's still out there doing it.
There you go.
Yeah, shout out.
Yep. See, don't try to run from it.
Yeah,
it's gonna catch up to you.
And it's funny. Yeah, that's it, man. Yeah, because like who would have known? I was like as suburban as it gets.
Yep.
Seeing the landscapers, like it was something that was way. And
cool.
now I'm that.
Yeah, you're building farms in suburbia.
Yeah, bro.
Mm-hmm. Near the ocean.
Maybe what I was like, it's
near the ocean.
Yeah. Yeah, we got it good around
it's
here,
crazy.
Man. Totally.
So, in conclusion, entrepreneurship is extremely difficult, but is the only route for us.
For us,
right?
That's beautiful for us, for sure.
It's the only way.
Because maybe not everybody. You're right.
I don't know if this is for everybody, man.
Yeah, that's it.
I don't know.
It is a beast. Like you and I are in it.
Yeah. Some people are like, oh yeah, you should have your people sign like non-disclosures and non-competes and stuff like that. And this is what I say. I say, if somebody wants to go and try to do this thing that we're doing, I wholeheartedly want you to go and try to do it.
That's hilarious. Yeah. That's so right.
Rip all the stuff.
But by the way, yeah, that's so true. I think the same thing. Cause like, I don't do any of that stuff either because exactly.
Rip all of it.
Go. But by the way, focusing on that less and focusing on the customer more is where that's where it all happens.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. That's where we're going to conclude.
Cool.
With our discussion about entrepreneurship here.
Thanks for having me, man.
Is the customer is the most important piece of the puzzle. Customer service will make you succeed. So always be focusing on the customer, and that should be the number one focus, correct?
Yeah, man.
Cool. That's it. We concluded on the right part.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Thanks so much.
Jack from Urban Abundance. Thanks, bro.